The real reason Gawin Caskey's career took years to explode. Let's be honest for a second. If you've been watching Thai BL and GMMTV for any length of time, you've felt that quiet frustration. You've seen the tall guy with the deep voice and the eyes that can switch from soft to stormy in half a second. You've heard him sing an OST that somehow sits heavier in your chest than the drama itself. You've watched him steal scenes in supporting roles and thought, why is this man still not the main event? 5 years. From 2018 to 2023. That's how long it took for Gawin Caskey, flick to the people who've been waiting, to finally step into a full lead. And even then, the role wasn't originally his. He walked in to be my favorite as a replacement. The industry loves a neat origin story. This one was messy, slow, and deeply unfair in the way only entertainment industries can be. This isn't a tidy success narrative. This is the story of a man who kept showing up with talent the system wasn't quite ready to fully use. The quiet beginning nobody noticed enough. Picture 2018. Gawin is fresh out of a gap year, working as a movie theater usher in Thailand after high school in the States. Thai-American, bilingual, 185 centimeters of quiet presence. Someone connected to GMMTV sees something and asks if he wants to audition. He says yes without really knowing what he's walking into. They send him to acting classes. He learns on the job. His first role is Mork in Kiss Me Again, a rebellious kid with anger issues who gets into fights. Supporting. Then he reprises it in Dark Blue Kiss in 2019. Fans start noticing. The chemistry with Pod is there. The growth of the character is there. He even gets to sing. People call him promising. And then, the momentum just sits there. This is the part that still stings if you were paying attention early. In the GMMTV machine, visibility without a fixed pairing is a special kind of limbo. You appear, you do good work, you go home. Newer faces get the big push, the coordinated fan meetings, the this is our next main couple energy. Gawin kept moving between supporting roles and secondary couples. Girl Next Room, Motorbike Baby, Enchanty, Oops, Mr. Superstar Hit on Me, solid, competent, never quite the center of gravity. He was good enough to keep working. Not quite the package the company was building campaigns around yet. The Not Me moment that should have changed everything. Then came Not Me in 2021, 2022. Dan, the rogue-leaning police officer with complicated methods and a presence that refused to stay in the background. Gawin didn't just hold his own opposite off and Gun's established pairing. He carved out space. International audiences noticed. Clips circulated. People started saying his name with a different weight. And still, the focus stayed elsewhere. This is where the industry structure becomes the real villain of the story. GMMTV runs on ships. Long-term pairings drive fan investment, merchandise, concerts, the whole ecosystem. Solo talent, or talent whose chemistry partners keep getting reassigned, gets kept useful but not fully elevated. After Dark Blue Kiss, the Pod pairing didn't continue. After the electric dynamic with First in Not Me, First got paired with Chaotung for the Eclipse. Gawin was left solo again. It's not that he lacked chemistry, it's that the machine prefers fixed units it can promote as brands. A talented actor who keeps delivering without a permanent other half can end up in the talented but not prioritized category for years. That's not conspiracy. That's how the business has worked for a long time. You can feel the quiet cost of that. Imagine showing up, doing the work, hearing the praise in private or in fan comments, and still watching other careers accelerate past yours because they fit the promotional template more cleanly. The self-doubt that has to creep in. The late nights wondering if the talent is real or if you're just convenient. Gawin has spoken in interviews about the process of growing into the craft, about not always seeing how good he was. That kind of honesty doesn't come from a place of easy confidence. It comes from years of almost. The replacement lead that became proof. Be my favorite. Piscine opposite creased. The role was supposed to be Mike Chinarat's. Mike stepped away. Gawin stepped in. First full lead in a full-length series after 5 years under the company. There's something almost cruelly poetic about it. The industry finally hands him the center position not as the carefully groomed next big thing, but as the reliable one who can handle the pressure of stepping into an existing project. And he does. The performance is measured, warm, layered, Fans who had been waiting felt the release of finally seeing him carry a story. Green flag energy, they called it. The kind of presence that makes the romance feel earned rather than manufactured. But even that success was still partly solo in the promotional sense. Kreist was already a known quantity. The pairing worked, the series landed, and yet the fall This Is Our New Power Couple machinery didn't lock in the same way it does for other pairings. Gawin kept working. He kept singing. The voice of GMMTV nickname was already there for a reason. Ost after Ost that people actually played on loop. The acting and the voice were both strong. The packaging still lagged. What finally shifted? The real explosion didn't come from a single role. It came when the system finally gave him a partnership that stuck and a project that let both sides of his talent breathe at once. My Golden Blood in 2025 with Joss Whale. Different tone, bigger scale, fantasy action edges mixed with romance. A pairing that clicked hard enough that fans demanded more. Concerts, follow-up projects, the whole ecosystem finally activating around them. Suddenly the years of supporting work looked different. The chemistry skills he'd been forced to build with temporary partners became an advantage. The emotional range from angry kid to complicated cop to soft lead to genre lead looked like versatility instead of inconsistency. The singing wasn't side content anymore. It was part of the brand. The Thai American background, the height, the bilingual ease, the quiet intensity, all of it finally had a stage that matched the talent. And here's the part that feels most human. It took 5 years partly because Gawin was still becoming the actor who could carry that stage. The early roles were training. The limbo forced growth that a faster push might have skipped. The self-doubt he later admitted to was real. Talent doesn't always arrive fully formed and camera-ready. Sometimes it arrives as a tall kid who said yes to an audition because he didn't have a better plan, then spent years learning how to trust what he could do. The uncomfortable truth for the industry. If you're in this business, agency, production, fan, creator, you already know the quiet math. Fixed pairings are efficient. They concentrate attention. They make marketing simpler. Solo or flexible talent is harder to package, even when the work is stronger. Gawin's timeline is a case study in what happens when the work outpaces the promotional strategy. He wasn't overlooked because he lacked ability. He was managed inside a system that prioritized certain shapes of stardom. The 5 years weren't wasted. They were expensive. Expensive in the currency of momentum, of peak visibility windows, of the simple human experience of watching peers get the full push while you keep delivering in the margins. When it finally locked in, with the Joss pairing, with the bigger projects, with the music opportunities expanding, the explosion felt inevitable only in hindsight. In real time it was slow, uneven, and dependent on a combination of persistence, a replacement opportunity, and the right partner finally staying in place long enough for the machine to notice. Gawin Caskey's career didn't take years to explode because the talent wasn't there. It took years because the industry took years to decide the talent was worth building around instead of around. And the people who felt that delay most sharply were the ones watching the whole time, waiting for the center to finally hold. That's the real reason, not a lack of spark. A long, quiet mismatch between what he could do and what the system was structured to amplify. When the match finally happened, it wasn't subtle. It was the sound of something that had been building pressure for half a decade finally getting the space to land.